Hello guys, welcome to HTML tutorial part 2. If you haven't seen part 1, you can check it in my playlist. So I want to show you a trick. Whenever we make HTML structure, we have to type this all every time. So if you are using VS Code, you can make this easily. It is not due to VS Code, it is due to extension called Emmet. Let me type it, EMMET. It is an inbuilt extension in the VS Code. It is also available in other IDEs, but I will recommend you to use VS Code because it's inbuilt in it. So what we can do, we can type exclamation mark before starting the document and press tab. This is the magic of Emmet. As you can see, it prepared the whole HTML structure very easily. Let me show you again. Type explanation and press tab. As you can see, it is our HTML structure. Now we will add the tags in body, but before that I want to explain you every line of it. So first of all, the doc type HTML. If you remember the last tutorial, I haven't told you about this. It is important if we are using the newer feature of HTML, which is HTML5. So please use this to support HTML5 in your document. You don't have to remember this all. Just type exclamation mark and press tab. The next will be the attribute called language. We tell the browser that which language this document or website has. The next will be the head tag, in which we are using 2 more tags. Now, lot of people, even senior developers, don't know the meaning of meta tags. I know some of you will already know this, but if you don't, let me tell you what is meta tag. Meta tag. Basically, meta tag is something which tells the properties of our web page. The properties. What are the properties? So like if I want to give author name to my web page, I can do that with meta tag. If I want to tell the correct set we are using, I can do that with meta tag. If I want to set viewport, lot of people don't know what viewport is. Basically, viewport is the display screen, like an 1080 pixel, 720 pixel, 480 pixel, 320 pixel, like a big device, smaller device. That is called viewport, the view inside that screen. So what this meta tag does, it actually enable the functionality to HTML, so we can use HTML document in mobile devices. Don't go into this, you don't have to remember this, believe me. Okay, so let me show you. There are more meta tags like this. This one was for character set. You basically, if you don't know what is UTF-8 is, you can Google it. It's nothing, just more than your keyboard layout. The second meta tag is description. We can set the description of a web page like this. So what is the need of meta tags? Like there are keywords, author. What is the benefit of these meta tags? When we use Google or other search engines, so they can easily find our HTML document using these meta tags. As you can see, if I will type free web tutorials, so my meta description will tell the Google that this site contains this. Same for keywords. If I type learn HTML, CSS, XML, JavaScript, anything from it, it helps Google to find my web page. And same things with author. Okay, we can use any of them, but they are not important. Just this is important. Okay, so hope you will understand what I told you. So let's move on. Today we'll make a form. So what is form? Like, I will open Facebook. This is called form. The form in which there are inputs, we can type something, that is called a form. When we log in, when we register, they are called forms. So we'll make a form here. Okay, so first we will type form. Form tag contains action. For now we don't need that, so you can delete it if you want. Okay, now we can type input. One more trick I want to tell you. Let's remove that. Okay, you can use Emmet for that. Like, if I have to type like this, you don't have to do this. Just type form or any tag you want to make, just press tab. Okay, now we will make input. So what we will do, we will type input tab. Input is also a self-closing tag. As you can see, it doesn't have closing tag like form. It is similar to image tag. So image tag was self-closing. Input is also self-closing. What are self-closing tags? They are the tags which don't close like this. So okay, now it has a attribute called type and its value is text. Okay, now if we save it and go refresh it, as you can see, here is our empty blank in empty input. Now we have to give it a name. So there are two methods for that. First, I want to introduce label. When we make a label, it has attribute 4. Let's make some space. So ignore it for now. Now inside it, we'll type name like this. Save it, check it. As you can see, name, let me zoom it a bit, name and empty blank, empty input. The second way is we can add a placeholder into it. So like this. What is placeholder? It is a dummy text which will be shown when a user open a form into input. Let me show you. Like, if I type enter name here, if I save it, refresh it, as you can see, it's a dummy text. It is, when we start typing, it will disappear. Okay, now there are a lot of attributes we can use in input. Let me show you. Input attributes. Like these, ID, min, etc. So I'm looking for a group. Let's forget that. I will tell you. Okay, now when we make an input, we have to give it a attribute called name. Why we give attribute called name? So we can easily identify which input is it for. Or when we use backend languages such as PHP or framework like Node.js, we can use them easily. We can identify the input and take its value, so we can use, so that's why we use name. We will type name here, because this input is for name. The attribute name has a value of name. In the label 4, we will type name here as well, so label can know that this label is for this input. Okay, so let's make another input. Before that, we will make a label. I will type password here. Originally this 4 is used for ID. I will introduce the ID in CSS, so we will not get into it for now. Okay, the input will be the label would be password, and its input would be for password. So we will type input, press tab. The type now will change. As you remember, when we type a password in any website, it shows dots there, dots like these. To make that, we will type password here. There are 3 main types of input. One is text, for plain simple text. Second is password, and third is email. There are more types, but we will talk about 3 this time. The later one I introduce them you to in CSS. Okay, we need this for password, so we'll type password. Now we need a placeholder to show dummy text. We will say enter your password, and we will give a name to password. See. Okay, now there is no difference if we type any attribute before or after. Like in this I have typed name here, and in this I have typed name attribute here. So save it. It is just my extension which made this and separate into. It's basically same as this. It's just expanded like this. You can use it. Now as a refresh, I got name and password. Now they are in the same line. If I want to push this one into the next line, there is a tag called BR, means break line. It is a very simple tag. It doesn't have closing tag. So save it, check again, it break the line for us. Okay, now as you remember, now we need a button here. So the button, we can use a button tag for it, like login, but as you can see, but in this case we will use an input type which is used for submitting. So the type would be the submit, and when we refresh it, it shows submit. We can also change the name of it. The text the showing here like submit by entering value attribute into it, and type here login or whatever you want. Refresh it. As you can see, it's changed into login. We can do the same for name and password also. For example, if I go in input, the name input, and type value here and type John Doe and save it. As you can see, John Doe is already typed in here. Refresh it again, as you can see, but we don't need that because user have to type it manually. Let's move this so it now it's nice. Okay, Okay, now add a BR here also. BR, save it, refresh it. Now it is in the next line. Okay, this was our form. Now there is a one more tag in form. We call it text area. It contains 4 attributes inbuilt. So in the name it is the same as this, so we'll type the purpose of it, like the purpose of this was contain password, the purpose for this was name, and this I will type description. Suppose the text area is for description. Now I don't recommend you to change column and rows, as you can change them according to you. There is also an ID, you don't need that. Let's remove it. Go refresh it. So here it is our text. Let's add BR here, so it will appear in the next line. Okay, so before it we will add a label for it. So label would be this description, like this. It is in the same line, it looks odd, so let's add a BR here also. You can add BR anywhere, literally anywhere, to break the line, like this. I have did BR for separating these from these, here from the button, and here from this button to this label, and here to separate these as well, because it looked odd to me, as you can see. And now we place the login after it. So add BR here again, and you can use BR not only in form, anywhere in your project, like this. Now we have everything we want in form. The more functions of the form will be I will tell them in CSS tutorial. So I think it's enough form for now. Okay, you can remove the action if you want. So next. Okay, the next tag I want to show are the tags which change the the appearance of text. They are called mini tags, you can say that. Like if I make a heading 1 tag, I will type this is a heading, and if I want this is or a heading bold, so I will type B tag here and put this heading inside it, like this. Now if I refresh it, it is already bold. Sorry for that. Actually make P tag, because P tag is not bold by default. Now you can see the heading is bold. If I want is to be italic, I will say I tag here and put it into this, like this. Refresh it, is italic. If I want A to be underlined, I will type U tag and put A into it, like this. As you can see, there are 3 tags totally: B tag for bold, U tag for underline, I tag for italic.